There are now over, count 'em, 1,000 cases of measles in 31 states, including Virginia and Maryland. Just last week, cases were reported in and around Dallas. The concern now is that measles will start popping up in major cities. Why? Well, folks are traveling. Joining us to discuss this is Dr. J. Reddy from HealthTrackRx. And with that, we welcome him to the Live Zone. Dr. Reddy, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you for the invite.
All right. I hate to say it, but dear God, we're talking about measles, and that gives me the EBGBs, as they say, and I'm sure it does that for a lot of folks as well. We know that this has been going on for quite some time. We're talking 25 years ago with regard to, well, all things surrounding measles, and yet again, fast forward to right now, and it's still an issue.
Absolutely. I mean, 25 years ago, it was declared eradicated from the U.S., but we have two things that really have happened. Global travel has increased. So when you're traveling to other countries that don't have access to the same vaccinations that we do here, even when we were eradicated from the U.S., we still had positive measles cases here in the country. They just weren't being spread domestically. Right around the same time, we also started seeing and hearing the vaccine hesitancy starting to crop up, and that has continued to progress over the past 2 decades. And so now we're in a situation where we're not as protected from herd immunity because our vaccination rates have gone down below that 95% threshold, and we still have high travel. So you merge those two situations together. This is how we kind of ended up back where we were prior to 2000.
And so with that being said, what should the average resident based right here in the nation's capital and surrounding area really be concerned about?
If you're vaccinated, there's really no real reason to be concerned. There is high protection for those who have both doses of the vaccine. Where you get concerned are those who either can't get vaccinated. Kids, before 12 months of age normally are not vaccinated until that time. They're at the biggest high risk. So when you're talking about the real concern, it's going to be that the kids who haven't been vaccinated, who have the potential to have a high-grade fever up to 105, which has very serious consequences long-term if they're not able to control that temperature. Also, if there are females who are pregnant who also are not vaccinated, there are high risks to the pregnancy and complications like prenatal birth, things of that nature. So those would be the two areas that I would say are at most risk.
Dr. Reddy, I know you don't have a crystal ball in front of you. If you did, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be chatting with me. But with that being said, what do you expect to happen? Do you expect things to get any worse?
I expect to continue to see the spread this year like we are now. I wouldn't say worse is the right word to put on it. I don't see it getting better. Our vaccination rates aren't improving. So unless we see vaccination rates plummet, I don't see it getting worse. But what we're going to see is this is going to be consistent from now on. This is the second time in the last 6 years where we've seen 1,000+ cases of measles. I expect in the future this is going to be more the norm than the outlier until we have vaccination rates increase.
So, Dr. Reddy, I don't know about you, but from time to time I'll peruse the internet, and some of the things that I see pop up happen to be vaccines are dangerous. Time and time again, I've seen it. However, every doctor that I've spoken with begs to differ, and so I'm curious your take on that, sir.
So where I always go with this is let's just talk about the MMR vaccine specifically for measles. We know the benefits of that. We've seen this disease eradicated from the U.S. with high vaccination rates. We also know the side effects of a vaccine, an MMR vaccine, generally mild, things like a low-grade fever, a rash, maybe diarrhea. And then we also know the consequences of measles if you have an infection, which are pneumonia, which can be brain swelling, which could lead to things like deafness, developmental delays, even death. So when you put all that together, the benefits way outweigh the risks in this case. And so what I would suggest anyone do if they have questions, if they have a kid or themselves, do your research, bring these questions to a trusted healthcare provider and have that conversation. I think most people would lean on the side that the benefits way outweigh the risks here.
Dr. Reddy, I have 2 minutes left, and I want to make sure that we get this across, and that is if you decide not to get vaccinated, other ways perhaps one can protect themselves.
Vaccination is really the key to protecting yourself. So if someone is not vaccinated or choose not to get vaccinated, the best course is going to be self-education. Go do an internet search. Type in measles spread in the U.S. The CDC will be one of the top 2 links there. It will show exactly what states have infections present. You can also go to they also have a list of the state newsletters and notifications. So if you're traveling to Texas, for example, you can see in a given county whether that is spread or not spread to that region. So really, if you're not vaccinated, self-education on where are hotspots in the U.S. would be the next best thing.
Yeah, it's yet again very concerning. I'm thinking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the virus, if you will, can linger in the air for quite some time. And just to think that, well, we all travel, at least many of us do, and happen to go through airports where someone can actually be stricken with measles, it's yet again very concerning.
It's concerning, and not only how long it can last, but also most of the transmission happens before someone has any serious complications. So most people aren't walking around in an airport with 105-degree fever or rashes everywhere. But if someone just has a sore throat at day 2 or day 3 after infection, likely going to be out, and that's where exposure can happen without really any symptoms of measles being there for that person. It is one of the most contagious infectious diseases around. Also scary. So you combine those two together, and the decreasing vaccination rates, it's not a good recipe for success.
Yet again, we have been speaking with Dr. Jay Reddy. He is the Chief Science Officer at HealthTrackRx. Folks that want to find out more information about you, sir, how would one go about to do so?
You can go to www.healthtrackrx.com. We also partner with urgent cares, pediatricians, and family practices throughout the United States. So if someone needs a measles test, you can go to your physician and ask if they have that available, or our website.
Very good. Yet again, Dr. Reddy, truly appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll take a quick break. On the flip side of that break, Autumn Joy joins us for our Monday Talkers next, right here on the Live Zone.